There was a boy who dreamed big every single night, but every morning, fear made him feel small again. He believed his life would never change because he had nothing special to offer the world. Slowly, he started believing that success was meant for other people, not for him. He watched people around him getting ahead while he stayed stuck in the same place. Every day he had new ideas, but fear killed them before they could even begin. The worst pain was knowing he had already lost confidence in himself. One day, he looked into the mirror and asked himself a question he had avoided for years. Am I really weak, or am I just afraid to try? That single question changed the way he saw his entire life. The next morning, he made a decision that he would stop making excuses forever. He had no money, no support, and no guarantee that things would work out. But he realized that starting imperfectly was better than never starting at all. When he took his first step, people laughed and said he would quit soon anyway. At first their words hurt him more than he wanted to admit. But then he realized people will always talk no matter what you do. He began improving little by little every single day, even when progress felt invisible. Sometimes he thought he was moving too slowly to ever succeed. But he learned that moving slowly is not failure. Giving up is. One night he felt completely broken and decided he wanted to quit everything. He thought all his hard work was pointless because nothing seemed to change. But deep down he knew quitting would only leave him with lifelong regret. The next morning, he got up again and went back to work despite the pain. This time he was not relying on motivation, only on his decision to keep going. That was the moment he understood. Discipline is stronger than motivation. As time passed, confidence slowly started growing inside him because he kept taking action. The things that once looked impossible now started feeling achievable. He realized confidence is built through action, not through overthinking. Some people still mocked him and said he was wasting his time chasing dreams. But now he listened to his inner voice more than the noise around him. Once a person believes in himself, outside opinions lose their power. There were nights when his friends were out having fun while he worked alone. Sometimes he wondered why life had to feel this difficult for him. But he knew temporary comfort was not worth sacrificing his future. Every small effort he made was slowly shaping a new version of himself. The boy who once doubted everything now started believing in his own potential. For the first time in years, he felt hope again. One day, he finally saw a small result from all the work he had done. To others it looked insignificant, but to him it meant everything. Small victories often give people the strength to fight bigger battles. Now he woke up every morning with purpose instead of fear. His entire life had not changed yet, but his mindset already had. And sometimes, changing your mindset is the first step toward changing your life. He realized life is not easy for anyone, no matter how successful they appear. Behind every successful person, there are sacrifices, pain, and lonely nights. People only notice the results, never the struggle behind them. He stopped fearing failure because he learned something more dangerous than failure exists. Failure is temporary, but regret can stay with you forever. That thought became the reason he kept moving forward. Over time, he became mentally stronger than he had ever been before. The same problems that once destroyed him now made him tougher. Hard times do not break strong people, they build them. One day he looked back and barely recognized the person he used to be. The scared boy who once avoided risks had become someone fearless enough to grow. He finally understood that real change happens slowly, not overnight. Now, even the people who once doubted him started asking for advice. He smiled because he knew his biggest battle was never against the world. His hardest fight had always been against his own fear and self-doubt. He realized life only changes when you take responsibility for yourself. As long as he blamed luck, society, and circumstances, nothing improved. Everything changed when he finally decided to change himself first. There were still days when he felt exhausted, but he refused to stop. He understood that dreams demand sacrifice if they are truly important to you. People who learn how to endure pain can achieve incredible things. He discovered that consistency matters more than intensity. Small efforts repeated every day eventually create massive results. Success is built daily, not instantly. He stopped comparing himself to everyone around him all the time. He realized every person is walking a completely different journey. Real growth begins when you focus on becoming better than your past self. There was a time when he truly believed he was useless. Now he finally felt proud of the person he was becoming. All because he refused to stop trying to improve himself. He learned patience is one of the most powerful skills a person can have. Not everything happens immediately, and some dreams take years to build. Those who stay patient while working hard are the ones who eventually win. Fear never fully disappeared from his life, but he learned how to move forward anyway. Brave people are not fearless people. Brave people are the ones who continue despite the fear. He realized the world only notices you after results begin to appear. So instead of trying to impress others, he focused on improving himself. That decision completely changed the direction of his life. Slowly, his hard work started taking him toward the life he once dreamed about. He finally understood that impossible is often just a feeling, not reality. A person can change everything once they believe in themselves enough to act. One day, he remembered the old version of himself who was afraid to begin. If he had never started, he would still be trapped in the same life today. Sometimes one small decision changes your entire future. Now he encouraged others to take action instead of waiting forever. He knew thinking alone never changes a person's life. The people who start are the people who eventually win. He realized motivation never stays forever, but discipline and habits keep people moving even on difficult days. A person who learns self-control becomes unstoppable. He no longer feared loneliness because he had turned his dreams into his purpose. Every sacrifice pushed him one step closer to the future he wanted. That feeling gave him the strength to continue, no matter what happened. There was a time when he desperately wanted everyone's approval. Now he only cared about becoming a better version of himself. Life becomes easier when your happiness no longer depends on others. He understood excuses will always exist, no matter what you want to achieve. The timing will never feel perfect, and the road will never feel easy. But the people who keep moving anyway are the ones who create history. Now his eyes carried more confidence than fear, because he had watched himself fall and rise again countless times. That experience made him mentally unstoppable. One day, his life finally changed for real. But the transformation did not happen overnight like people assumed. It was the result of thousands of silent efforts nobody saw. People admired his success, but they never saw the pain behind it. Behind every smile were sleepless nights and silent struggles. Those struggles eventually became his greatest strength. He understood life gives nothing valuable for free. Every great achievement demands patience, sacrifice, and pain. But those willing to pay the price often go the farthest. One last time, he looked into the mirror and smiled proudly at himself. Because the person staring back no longer lived in fear or doubt. He finally believed that if he could change this much, anything was possible. In the end, he learned one truth that changed everything forever. Your life changes the moment you decide to change yourself. Because your future is created by your actions, not by your excuses.